Hi guys, it's Mark Glenton from Mind Frontiers at markglentonNLP.com. I'm going to talk to you today about guilt. So are you a guilt catcher or a guilt thrower? So what does that mean? Well, a lot of people will unintentionally or intentionally throw out guilt at people. Oh, look at what you've done. If you hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have acted like this. Throwing out the guilt. And then a lot of people will catch that guilt and go, well, I'm sorry, love, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. That's how abusive relationships can form, by throwing the guilt out there. So are you throwing the guilt out or getting us into living terrified? Well, guys, guilt is just a feeling that we do. I want to talk to you to say, well, it's not something that you need to think about. It's just stuff. If you're trying to please somebody, what is your intention? Now, according to NLP, there's always a positive intent for any sort of behaviour. So for somebody that's abusive, it's the power and control of somebody else. So what's your intent if you're a victim? If you're a guilt catcher and you're saying sorry all the time, what are you trying to achieve? And is it going to be beneficial for you in the long term? The chances are no. So look at it this way. We'll talk about the power of control. So if something has happened in the past, or something is likely to happen in the future, is it under your control? If it's under your control, there are steps, things that you can take in order to change what's happened, or change what might happen in the future. But if it's not under your control, so somebody's making, you did this and that's made me very angry and I'm very, very mad. Well, actually, that's them not taking responsibility for their own actions. If you can't control anything that has happened from other people when they're throwing guilt at you, then it's not your fault. So look at what you're doing now. Have you got the power of control in whatever you're doing? Have you got choices and options in what you're doing now? And if so, what will be the result of those options? If you haven't got any options and it's beyond your control, it's not your problem. No matter how many people throw the guilt at you, it's not your problem. And if you can see it's not your problem, different things can happen. You can take your life back. You can control your life how you want it, rather than being manipulated by somebody throwing guilt at you. Because guilt is just a manipulative tool to get them to do what they want you to do. And the politicians do that. Everywhere does that. You know, the media will do that. Let's manipulate you into thinking and believing all this sort of stuff, all this negative stuff about whatever it might be. They're using a manipulative tool to make you feel guilty or to make you feel angry. Well, they're your feelings, guys. When you know that they're your feelings, and we generate our feelings from inside rather than from other people, although some people might find that difficult, we generate our own feelings. Our thoughts, our beliefs, and our feelings all come from us. We have the power to control what we do with our lives. So there may be some external forces that make things complicated, but we still have the power to determine what feelings we have. So stop being a guilt catcher, guys. And for those that are throwing guilt out, just stop. Look at what you're doing and how that affects somebody else. And what is it you're trying to gain from manipulating this other person into feeling guilty? And what will be the long-term result? If you carry on manipulating somebody, say you're in an abusive relationship and you make them feel guilty, in the end, somebody's going to wake up and smell the coffee and you're not going to be in a relationship anymore, guys. So wake up and smell the coffee. Look at what you're doing and your own behaviour, and look at the impact that it's having on other people. So that's only a brief little talk about guilt. There's many, many things to talk about with guilt. And I could talk about it all day, and that would be boring. So thanks very much, guys, and I hope to see you again.